Well, a tough loss. But honestly, there was just a lot of good stuff from our team today that makes me proud of their effort and some of the things that we got accomplished. Whether it was different players putting points on the board, 20 assists. There was just a lot of good. Seton Hall is the third best team in our league right now, and I think our team knows that with a higher level of execution, we can even cut that gap more. But overall, Seton Hall's a good team. Hope Jada Eads is okay, and there's a lot of good things that happened for our ladies tonight.
Questions for Devin? Devin, it seems like today you were pretty much aggressive with scoring the ball and pretty much had one of your better games from scoring perspective. What was going through your mind today?
I think it started in practice. I think the coaches are demanding for me to be more aggressive. So just doing what I do in practice and bringing it to the game.
One of the biggest differences in this game here was the free throw shooting. They shot 24 for 28. You were like 7 of 11. Talk about that disparity and what's happening there.
I think we just have to stay clean. I think as a point guard myself, I think that's when I'm supposed to get the team together and just tell us to play clean and just stop bailing them out. So.
I don't have your voice. Devin, I think you led the team today in minutes played. Were you prepared for that role, or did that kind of come into the game?
Yes, I was prepared.
Is there ever a time where you're just asking for a break or two, or are you constantly in go mode, attack to the basket?
I think I'm constantly in go mode. I think Coach Jill does a good job of bringing me out when I need it, but for the most part, I'm in go mode.
Anything else for Devin? Over the last 5 games, Devin, you all been pretty much in a lot of these games here. Talk about what you all have learned since the new year.
I think that we can stand with anybody. We just have to execute, stick to the game plan, and we're right there with all the teams.
All right, thanks, Devin.
Thank
What
you.
you got, Al?
All right, Coach. Michelle pretty much played a solid game for you on both ends of the floor. Can you talk about that matchup against Venezuela?
Yeah, Michelle's one of those bright spots I was talking about today. I thought she really stepped up. With Meg not being available, there's just a lot of responsibility and expectation for her in that position. And Valenzuela's just coming off her best game, So I thought Michelle did a great job. I thought she did a great job of trying to be a presence in the paint, trying to be a force in the paint. And, we're demanding a lot from her and expecting a lot. But I will say that Shelly, we call her Shelly, wants that. She wants us to expect a lot out of her. So I really thought Michelle had a great game today.
You guys definitely gave up a little bit of size down low and did a pretty good job of scoring the paint over them. But obviously, I think 17 more trips to the line. How do you preach to your team trying to get them away from getting the free shots?
You know what, Peter? We have been talking a lot about this free throw disparity. And you just, especially early on when we were really challenging, putting points on the board, we knew and know, and we still know, we cannot afford to have that type of disparity at the free throw line. And at the start of the season, our free throw goal is to make more free throws than the other team shoots. And then we adjusted it because of such a disparity and said, hey, we just got to get the free throw line even. They make 12, we got to make 12. They make 17, we got to make 17. And it's like I want so badly for the team to feel the reward, which for us, for anyone, they want to win, and I want them to feel that. But we can't have a game with that kind of disparity on the free throw line and think we're going to be able to overcome that. And that's we've talked about it. They understand the importance of it. We started the second half with three stops, but then we fouled 6 of the next 8 possessions, and it's just difficult. It's difficult so it's just something we're going to continue to talk about, and I do feel like our players will eventually make the adjustment. But it's just really really important.
Real quick, just going off that, I don't want to get you in trouble at all, but I know there were a couple of 50-50 calls early on that didn't seem to go your way, and you and your staff are pretty vocal about that. Do those moments impact how your players attack on offense or defense, trying to stay out of foul trouble?
I don't think so. I don't think anything in the game today. I thought it was a pretty, it's fine. Those are just things are not always going to go your way. Our kids experienced that in our last game. Things are just not always going to go your way. So that's a little bit of adversity. You got to fight back. You got to be resilient, and then you got to make them go your way. So yeah, I don't think it had any kind of real impact on our kids.
And Coach, Coach, speaking about the free throw disparity from that standpoint, how does that impact the offense? Because it seems like when they were going to free throw line, your offense kind of got a little stagnant.
Yes,
Can
sir.
you speak on that?
Yeah, Al, I wouldn't. The way it probably impacts our offense the most is just it allows them to get set on defense, right? They're going to the free throw line, so now they get to get set on defense. So I would say that's got the greatest impact, but I don't think them going to the line impacted our approach, us being aggressive on the other side of the floor. I just think, I know our players get frustrated sometimes with the fouls, but you got to show your hands. You got to keep your hands above your elbows, and we just got to stay clean. That's what we try. We don't even say don't foul. We just say stay clean. But yeah, I don't think it really had any impact on the offense other than they get to set up their defense. Yeah.
And Coach, speaking of the fact that you all been in a lot of these games lately, the last 5 games, but you all won one, of course. But talk about how this team is starting to grow and come together lately in the season.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of areas where we have improved over the last few weeks. We're assisting on more baskets. I think we're doing a better job of working to get an uncontested shot. I think our players were scoring the ball better. We're just shooting the basketball better, and it's tough to win it. Like I said to him in the locker room, hey, we scored 77. We got to win a game when we score 77 points. And Seton Hall did a great job, and Bishop did an outstanding job stepping up today for them. But when we score 77, we definitely want to win the game.
Like you said, Michelle had a really good game today, stepping into that role. Do you have an update on Meg's health situation?
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance she'll be able to play Wednesday, but we just have to. We just have to see how she is tomorrow and then just watch the progression of it. And I think there's definitely a chance she can play Wednesday at Butler.
Coach, I got to bring this up, but looking at the shirts that you all have on, can you speak to that, the message that the shirt shares to the audience that's actually watching the game?
Yeah, I mean, I'm so glad that we take a game to honor Martin Luther King. And, tomorrow with our team, we'll come back in, we'll read his speech, we'll watch his speech, and the education part that the Big East commits to this is I just think it's great for our ladies, and certainly he is an inspiration for everything that he accomplished and what he fought for, and that's the part. You're in college athletics and you just don't lose sight of everything, all the learning that our players get to have, right? And this is one of those moments. So it's great that the league chooses to honor Dr. Martin Luther King. And it's great that it gives us a platform to take the time and educate our players. All right, thank you, you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.